It hasn't even been a day yet, and I was getting bombarded with people asking me, "Hey, are these ships good, Chemo, or stuff like that?" There's only 3 ships in this banner, so it's not going to be a long topic, thank God. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to keep asking me for it, so might as well make this video first before we talk about the actual events. Right. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and talk about the ships. So, the first one on this banner is going to be Albion. Albion being the sister of Centaur after many, many years now. Let's see what she has to offer. So, her kit as of right now is at 120, 6,627 health, 425 aviation, 270 anti-air, 163 on the reload, 70 on the evasion, medium armor, 28 speed, 98 hit, 78 luck, 128 anti-sub, and 13 oil cost. So I'm pretty sure there's a significant stat upgrade compared to her sister. More reload, more aviation, more anti-air as well too. Across the board, she just wins in everything. Like a little bit, but like she wins in everything. That's that's to be expected, I guess. But she does win in everything. Alright, so that's pretty interesting there. I thought it was gonna be like a significant one, but I guess they kept it really kind of close to her sister, so whatever. Anyways, though, we have the same efficiency as her sister as well too. 2 fighter slots, 125, 120% respectively. 2 planes in each, very nice, and then 140% on torpedo bombers. 4 slots there, also very nice. So someone mentioned that her bomb spreads is a little weird or whatever. I'm gonna assume, I haven't used her yet, but I'm gonna assume her bomb spread is kind of like Centaur's in a sense that it's very wide, and it goes like converging, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it goes like this, converging, but it's like parallel converging, I guess. So I think that's one way to describe it. I could be wrong, but I think someone said that her torpedo bombs or whatever are kind of like weird, so I'm gonna assume it's like a parallel converging kind of, just like her sister Centaur. At 120 we get 1 aviation, so you guys already know. This ship's are gonna be a good deal already, so I already like it. And let's talk about the stats. So first skill here, Sky Raiders Advance. When this ship launches an airstrike, launches a recon squadron consisting of Sky Raider AEW planes detecting enemy subs for 6 seconds. Additionally, select 1 enemy at random. Humanoid enemies are prioritized and increase this ship's damage dealt to enemy by 10%. Does not stack. So only this ship gets an upgrade, unfortunately, but they do make it so that enemy gets a damage increase whenever Albion airstrikes. So, and then the next part here, launches a level 10 special airstrike that hits the enemy subs, damage based on skills level. So this skill right here, I'm gonna assume that's just additional damage for whatever the second part. But the first skill though, it's really unique in a sense that it has basically permanent uptime, but for her only. So I think most ships nowadays, they should have something similar to this kind of kit. At least what I think. If Manji wants to go through this whole like we have to avoid using like Helena or whatever, or want people to avoid using Helena, then they should make it so like more ships, whenever they do their attacks, they get the damage increase. This makes it so the uptime is 100%. You're not like fixated with attacking within a specific time frame, which is kind of like some people enjoy attacking in a specific time frame. I think it's like really restricting in terms of gameplay, so it's like whatever. But regardless, though, the fact that she does have subs in her kit, this tells me that this ship is meant for World 14. You don't have these kind of like recon scans or submarine attacks for carriers even, unless you're specifically made for World 14. So Albion here is pretty much meant for World 14. So I like that first skill though. Increased damage on humanoid targets prioritized. 10% damage increase. Pretty nice. Not to mention that she does have 2 fighter slots now and torpedo bomber slots. So you just go double. You can go like double AP rockets with wyverns and do so much damage with that setup. It's kind of crazy for World 14. Second skill here, Unblemished White Cliffs. Increase this ship's aviation and accuracy by 15%. If there are 3 or more Royal Navy ships in your fleet, further increase this ship's aviation anti-air by 10%. So up to 25% aviation. That's actually really good. This is actually a really heavy hitting ship, to be honest. 25% aviation max, 10% damage increase for a specific target. Really good. Increase in their skill here, increase this main fleet's maximized detection gauge value by 10. I think that's pretty good. I think max is like 100 or something. I could be wrong, but or 50, I'm not sure. But 10 is a pretty good amount though. As long as this ship is afloat, decrease your main fleet's burn damage taken by 15%. So you can combine her with like Musashi and basically never have aggro at all, which is really good. When a ship in your vanguard recovers 50% or recovers HP, 50% of any excess HP recovered beyond the maximum is converted into a barrier that can negate damage equal to that amount. Lasts up to 5 seconds. And while this barrier is active, the barrier's recipient deals 5% increased damage. So this is a very unique skill in a sense that it's pretty good because it's very unique, and it's like it makes it so there's no basically wasted health healed. So this skill is really good for ships that have a lot of excess healing. So a good example, like we're using World 14 again because this ship's meant for World 14. If you're using Perseus occasionally tends to overheal a lot. If you're on auto battle, she tends to overheal a lot because most of the time, if the fight ends fast enough, she gets so much heals off that you pretty much just waste all that health that she heals, right? So this makes it so, let's say you heal for 6 times 6%, so that's like 12%, or 6 times 6, or 6 plus 6% is 12%. Half of that is 6%, so there's that. Let's say you're using a Vanguard with like, I don't know, 3,000 health. That's like what? 180 health. So you get a shield for 180 damage for 5 seconds. So that's pretty good. But here's the kicker though. Shields are nice, but they're like they're not like actual HP. So that's one thing I don't like about shields in this game is that if you don't negate the damage right there and then, that shield basically becomes wasted because it doesn't offer anything aside from just an extra layer of protection for a specific time frame. So health is guaranteed to give you what you need because if you're missing 10% HP, heal 5%, you get 5% back for like forever until you lose that 5%. Whereas shields, it's up for 5. You have 5% shields up for 5 seconds. Once that 5 seconds is up, that shield is gone. So it's a specific time frame. So I personally think this skill is pretty good for uniqueness, but it's also bad in the sense that it's a very small uptime. If it was like 10 seconds, that would be really good. But 5% though, it basically doesn't really offer much because a lot of ships, if you're on auto battle specifically, heals up front a lot. A good example is like Perseus. If you on auto battle, you double airstrike right away. You get the 6% shield because she does it twice right away. So fights don't end in 5 seconds. You get damage increased well too, but fights don't end in 5 seconds. So if you play manual, I guess that could be okay, assuming you haven't taken damage yet. And you get a damage increase, but that's only if there's a shield around you as well too, so that's kind of bad. This ship is actually really good with Laffy as well too, because Laffy gets with her augment gets a 10% heal, I think, or something like that. It's like a 10 or it's a 10 or something heal. They might be 20% actually. I check her augmentations. I think it's a 10 or 20%. I literally did a video about this like a while back. It's 10%. Okay, so Yeah, 7%. So she gets it right away at the beginning, so that's actually pretty good. And Laffy, if you don't take damage with her in other stories, she gets 5% heals back, right? So I think you can run some like gimmicky setups with her. It's just the fact that that shield uptime is really bad, but the effect itself is pretty good. It's just 5 seconds is a very small time frame. Like there's pretty much no big threats for the first 5 seconds of a fight. So it's kind of redundant and kind of whatever. Like even then, like most of the big fights in this game nowadays, the first 5 seconds you take like no damage. It's just the aftermath, like if you're doing like boss fights or whatever, that's when you start feeling it. If you're doing like mob content, when you start wearing out your fleet and running out of like attacks, the last half of the fight gets really difficult. So this skill is pretty much meant for upfront healing because if you're saving, like if you're trying to play around Albion for like the second half of a fight, you're pretty much going to take damage already. If you're taking damage, you need to use the heals for actual healing. So there won't be any excess healing, which means there won't be any barriers, which means you won't get a damage increase. Get what I'm saying? So this is a very upfront ship kit right here. If you use like Perseus or like Laffy or any kind of like very fast regen on the first wave, you only get a shield at the beginning of the fight. And at the beginning of the fight, there isn't much threat nowadays. So it's like, whatever, right? So overall, it's an okay ship. Definitely good for World 14. Like the first two skills are really, really good. The third skill had potential. It's just kind of gimmicky and whatever. So I'm not a big fan of it. The second ship here is Janus. Janus here, the sister, I believe, of Jervis. I'm pretty sure Jervis' sister. Yeah, Jervis, Javelin. Oh, the J's. Wow. Okay. I thought it was just Jervis, but apparently all of them. Stats 120, 2064 health, 120 firepower, 466 on torpedoes, 186 on anti-air, 234 on the reload, 263 on evasion, light armor, 43 speed, 221 hit, 53 accurate or luck, 253 on the anti-sub. That's actually pretty good. I think that's pretty. Is that high? I feel like that's like average. Oh wait, no. My bad. Wait, why did I open up Janus again? I opened up Jervis. I was like, why are they the same? Yeah, that's actually higher than like a lot of them, so that's pretty good. And 10 oil costs. So once again, we have a DD ship with okay firepower, pretty good torpedoes, wave clearing DD for sure right here. We got another one, guys. Efficiency 125 on the DD gun, 155 on torpedoes, 105 on the anti-air. Pretty much meant for a hybrid DPSer destroyer. So that answers that question. At 120, +1 evasion permanently, which is redundant, I guess, because DDs don't really need that much evasion anymore. Other survivability stuff, but whatever. And time for the skills. So the first skill here, please take care of me with the stuttering, but I'm not going to stutter because I am not an anime girl. Increase the ship's firepower, torpedo, and anti-sub by 10%. When the battle starts, if there are 3 or more Royal Navy ships in the fleet, deploys a barrier, lasts 20 seconds, can negate damage equal to up to 5% of the recipient's max HP. So that's actually, this part is really, really good. See, 20-second shield is really, really good. So that part right there is really good. Even though there's only 5% of the max HP, that 20% uptime is, or 20-second uptime is really, really good. If you can time it with Albion properly, you can get basically a 5% shield with a 25-second uptime, which can be really, really good. I like that skill, or I like that duration actually. Or on your Royal Navy DDs. Ooh, that's really, really good. So it's just not just her, it's just Royal Navy DDs. So that's really, really good. If the barrier is destroyed rather than expiring, decrease the barrier's recipient damage taken by 10%. For 20 seconds. Wow. So I believe this works for every DD that has the barrier, not just Janus. It's actually pretty solid. When sorted with another J-class DD, increase the J-class DD's firepower, torpedo accuracy by 10%. So that's for every DD, actually. That's actually really actually not that bad. I like that skill a lot. You can definitely, so I'm gonna say Jervis because Jervis is the best option for this because again, this entire banner is basically meant for World 14. So if you have Janus with you, or not Janus, I'm sorry, Jervis with you, then you can actually do like a lot of things with this. Restores that's a lot of heals. I will say this. So this kit right here is really good. Like the devs plan this out. You pretty much want to run Jervis, Janus, and Albion together to get the maximum protection in World 14. It is the ultimate combo for World 14 if you want to play Royal Navy. Having Albion, Jervis, and Janus with you, and if you have like a Perseus as well too, is so good. And then 2 flex like you need like Musashi and some other Vanguard like a Drake or something. That's actually really good. Yeah, that's actually wow. That's actually that fleet is actually pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. Perseus, Albion, Musashi, Drake, Jervis, and Janus for World 14 mobs. That can definitely be a really good setup. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually really good. Or run like Breast instead of Drake, but I think you need more damage, so you go Drake. Actually, really good setup. Not gonna lie. I like that a lot. Charming Janus. Every 15 seconds after the battle starts, 75% chance to fire a level 10 special barrage. Damage is based on skills level. Enemies hit by this barrage take 12% increased damage from your DDs and light cruisers for 5 seconds. Again, short interval, but if you play manual and you hold your torpedoes, you can get the 12% damage increase from torpedoes, which I guess is pretty good. If the barrage doesn't activate, instead performs a sonar scan that renders enemy SS detected for 8 seconds. Then allow assault right there. So this kit is okay. It's not the best, but if you play a proper team comp like the one I just explained, like Jervis, Janus, Albion, if you have Perseus as well too, that's good. That's so much extra healing for your vanguards. That's insane. You get so much shields. You can basically get like a lot of shield uptime, even though it's like 5 seconds. If you have Perseus, Albion, Janus, and Jervis for World 14 fleets, that's actually a really good comp. Wow, it's actually not that bad. I think I gotta see how they perform in terms of like damage though, but they have a lot of self buffs as well too, because like Jervis has all these self buffs right here, right? Also can heal as well too. Yeah, they buff each other up. That's crazy. Wow, that's actually really good. Um, so I think it's diff. Wait, this is okay. This one says please take care of me. This one says, or this one says please take care of me. This one says please take care of me. I'm gonna assume they stack because it's not the same name, right? Yeah, I think there's different skills, so I think they do stack. So that's a lot of buffs right there for your vanguards for Jervis and Janus. That's actually a really good setup. Not gonna lie. Yeah, Jervis, Janus, and then like Albion, Perseus, Musashi, and like a Drake or whatever you want to use for your main tank front, your front header. Really good. Not gonna lie, it's very good. I like that. Actually, like that a lot. I can keep talking about it, but I like that a lot. Then you have Manchester again, elite. I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll go ahead and discuss it regardless. Gloucester. I'm not gonna pronounce that name. I'll probably butcher that name anyways. I don't care. Manchester, anyways. Level 120, 3,641 health, 141 firepower, 273 torpedoes, 0 aviation, 331 anti-air, 174 on reload, 122 on evasion, light armor, 32 speed, 158 on hits, 41 luck, 136 on the anti-sub, and 10 oil cost. So again, elite. I'm not gonna talk much about it. at 100 at not 120, my bad. Efficiency wise, 150% on CL guns, 150% on torpedoes, 110 on anti-air. I think that's pretty good. I gotta check. Let me look at Plymouth real quick, but I don't think that's that bad. I'm gonna compare her to Plymouth because I said so. Yeah, even Plymouth doesn't have that high. Wow, that's actually a lot of light cruiser efficiency. Like I was like looking at this, I was like, wow, that's a lot. It's actually pretty good. But she has low stats though, so like whatever. But that's actually not that bad. 150% for CL gun, definitely is pretty good. And then one anti-air at 120, but whatever. Right, so skills. Multitasking Maid. Increases ship's firepower and accuracy by 10%. When the ship fires her torpedoes, 50% chance to inflict 15 damage to this ship and fires an additional main gun volley. So I don't know why they have like a 15% damage self taken. Maybe there's a lore behind it, but I wouldn't know. Someone can say in the chat or something. Additional main gun volley. That is definitely good. That is definitely worth the 15 damage taken for extra damage increase. I actually like that a lot. I just don't like the fact that it's 50% chance. I think that's really, really dumb, but it is what it is. Premature gift. Decrease the loading time of this ship's first wave of torpedoes by 70%, but decrease the damage taken by her next wave by 30%. Okay. Decrease damage dealt by her next wave. Oh, whatever. So it's like first one hits hard, second one hits hard. I get it. 75% chance to restore 1% of this max HP every 8 seconds. This only activates one per battle and may be interrupted by multitasking maids. So, again, RNG. But 1% max HP every second for 8 seconds is not that bad. It's just, it can be interrupted and it's RNG. So, I'm not a big fan of it. So, like, this kid has potential to be good. It's just, because Manju thinks it's elite, she doesn't get a 100% proc rate. She gets a 50% and 75%. I think that's really dumb, but it is what it is. Overall, this ship is kind of whatever. Way, way better options out there. Her only big takeaway is that she has really high light cruiser gun efficiency, so that's pretty nice. Not gonna lie. That's pretty nice. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the rankings or whatever, or how I would describe these ships. So again, this banner for SSR ships in particular is a World 14 banner. Albion is a World 14 ship. Definitely has potential to be used outside of World 14 by all means. She has a lot to offer. Self-damage increase, 25% aviation. Definitely is a good heavy hitter. Now, if I were to use her for other content though, personally I would use Centaur. Centaur can offer more because she can buff the main fleet, which is more important than just Albion by itself. But Albion herself is definitely not a bad ship, but she's pretty much meant for World 14 because of her SS detection and the third part of her skill, which makes it so if there's any ships that's doing extra healing, it's pretty much meant for there. So once again, can be good outside of World 14, but overall meant for World 14 as a carrier. Janus overall, her kit is kind of whatever by herself, but when combined with a proper Royal Navy fleet can be really exceptional. Jervis, Janus, and Albion together as a core to get the triple Royal Navy buff for all those ships will benefit a lot. So you have to run Janus, Jervis, and Albion in particular to get the most out of it. You can toss in Perseus as well too to get extra healing for those shields if you really want to. But overall though, Janus, Jervis, and Albion have to stick together. We'll call this a JAJ combo or the JJA combo because you pretty much need all three together to get the most value out of every one of those ships' kit. It's just how it is. But again, World 14 definitely can make a very strong comp in World 14 with the one I just explained like 10 minutes ago. But by herself though, kind of whatever ship. You have to play specific team comp, otherwise it's not that great. And outside World 14 though, way better options out there. In Manchester, elite, high light cruiser efficiency, but overall can't really justify this ship being like absolutely amazing. So we'll go ahead and skip on her. So the big takeaways of this banner, I'm gonna say Albion is probably the one you want. Now she is World 14 restricted, but if you're a new player, you're probably much lacking a lot of ships, so she's not a terrible role. Double fighters and torpedo bomber slot makes it so you do a lot of damage with just like Sea Hornets or AP rockets with some kind of like torpedo bombers, which makes wave clearing very very easy. Not to mention at at 120 she gets a +1 aviation perma, so we all have to max her out. Followed up by Janus. If you I forgot how to label these things, but I don't get her as Albion. So I would say get her because of the +1 aviation. That's very very important. Janus, I forgot how to label it. It's the second tier, but the second tier of importance. Get her if you like her. She can offer you assistance at World 14. Otherwise, if you don't need World 14 assistance, just skip her. Same with Albion. Albion's also World 14 as well too. She has some decent damage outside of World 14, which isn't bad, but she has a +1 deviation, so that's pretty important. And in Manchester, if you like her, pull for her, I guess. But that's generally a ranking of this banner. Now keep in mind that this is the filler banner before the storm, the prelude of the storm, I'd say. We have Atelier Ryza collab coming up in a couple of weeks. We have a UR event coming up in 1.5 months to 2 months. So if you guys are very low on cubes right now, I would hold off. If you guys are chilling at like, I don't know, 200 or lower cubes, maybe 300 or lower cubes, definitely avoid this banner unless you really really like the ships, because we have a lot more banners coming up that are very important for the remainder of the year. All right, so that's the end of this video. That's a lot to talk about for 3 ships. I don't know why, but it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions, feel free to comment in the video. As always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye.